This video will provide some foundational usage information about using your Google Drive effectively and efficiently. As you watch this video, you are encouraged to pause the video often to practice the skills that are being demonstrated. Since you are using your Austin ISD Google account, you must first authenticate your account using the Austin ISD portal's Google Drive tile. The first thing we're going to do is to go to the Austin ISD portal and open up Google Drive. You will have access to your Google Drive from any internet-connected computer as well as mobile device. So why do we use Google Drive? There's a couple of reasons why. First of all, there's an unlimited amount of storage. You will see in this account that there are 2 gigs of storage being used. The user can be creating more video documents and uploading large files. While your storage isn't technically an unlimited amount of storage, you have terabytes of storage available to you. Store any type of digital files. You can upload a spreadsheet for Microsoft, a JPEG or a picture file. You can share a Minecraft world file with a classmate, or a large zip file from one department to another. There's an easy ability to share and assign a variety of sharing permissions to files. I can select and share an item from my Google Drive with anyone else in Austin ISD. When you use Google Docs, Sheets, or Slides, you will see that they allow for collaborative editing. It's very easy to add people to a document, to share a view of the file, or to share editing abilities. Another reason we use Google Drive is that it is integrated into Blend, which is our learning management system. You'll see that it's easy to add Google Documents and Slides directly into Blend assignments or pages, as well as have students submit their files from their Google Drive into Blend. Now we're going to look specifically at the features of Google Drive, and one of the first things you should do is to confirm that you are using your AISD account. You can do this when you are in Drive by looking at the top right and locating the current profile for Google Drive. Look for the AISD applet or your AISD email in this profile window. On the far left side of Google Drive, you will find the menus that are visible throughout Google Drive. Near the top is your My Drive. This is the first level or the root level of your storage in Drive. When I select My Drive, I will see folders, documents, and other files in the center part of this screen. I can see who owns or created the files and when they were last modified. If I click the little triangle next to the left of My Drive, it will show me an alphabetical list of the folders that are in My Drive. When My Drive is selected, the window will show a suggested list of recently used files at the top, and below that, a list of all of the contents of My Drive. The grid icon at the top right will toggle between Grid View and List View. The grid view will show small previews of my documents, and I can toggle back easily to list view, which gives me a sortable list of all of the files in my Google Drive. One way to help organize files or make them stand out in a list is to colorize the file icon. For example, I want to make my Screencastify folder stand out. So if I right-click on it, or Control-click on my Mac, or use the 2-finger tap on a Chromebook trackpad, I can see a lot of the options to use with this folder, including how to change colors. By changing the color, this folder will now stand out in a different color. Only I will see this color, and if I share the folder with somebody else, they will not see the color as I have set it for this folder. When you look closer at the folder icons, you will see a sharing indicator. For example, this folder has no little person in it, but this one has a little icon of a person. This means that the folder has been shared with 2 or more users. By sharing folders, whoever we shared this folder with also has access to all of the content inside that folder. Since sharing is an important part of our drive, there is a Shared with Me menu in your Google Drive. When I select Shared with Me, I will see a list of all of the files that have been shared by somebody else with me. Looking at the screen, I can see that this file was shared last week by that user. Earlier this year, these 2 were shared by these 2 users. Some people like to open Shared with Me to find files created by someone else that was shared with them. I could come down here and look for the file while seeing the name of the person who shared it with me. Another strategy for finding files uses the Recent menu. The Recent menu is simply showing you things that you have recently touched, whether you've opened them, you uploaded them, or you edited them. These are item file types that you have recently had access to. If I'm looking for something that I was working on yesterday, I could click Recent and scroll down to the previous day in this chronological list to find it and open it up. The last thing to point out here is the Starred menu. This menu can be incredibly helpful when you have a lot of files and folders. For example, I am in my drive and there is a file that I keep using. It's named Moon Phases and Eclipses, and I want to be able to get to it very quickly. I can select the file and either right-click it, or I can go to the skinny snowman to see more actions. In this menu, click Add to Starred to add it to the starred items. Once I have starred it, you'll see that the star shows up next to the file name. I can click the Starred menu and all of my starred items will show up here. It's kind of like a favorite list within your Google Drive. How do we get content into the Google Drive? Well, there's a number of different ways to do this. We're going to use the plus New button at the top of the Google Drive. When I click on the New button, a menu will open up here that shows me that I can create folders, I can upload items, or I can create new items directly from this menu. In order to organize my Google Drive using folders, I can create a new folder using this menu. I'm going to call this folder Confidential Work and then click Create. Because my Drive was selected first, this new folder will show up in my Drive. I can also create a new folder inside of another folder by first opening the existing folder and then again creating the new folder. I can do this whole change of color thing and make this look very important as well. The Google Drive is a great tool for creating content, but you can also add files that already exist. Let's say I go into this Confidential Work folder and there is a document that I want to store inside of that folder. I can use the New button, click File Upload, and then this takes me to my computer's file menu. This will look different on a Chromebook or a Windows laptop or a Mac. Whatever that dialog will look like, it will be a view of the files that you have on your computer. In this instance, I'm in a folder called Very Professional Things, and my document Super Important Confidential Stuff is right there. I'm going to select this file and then click Open to make it start uploading into my Google Drive. A third way of getting content into your drive is to basically create a new file from scratch. I could use the New menu and select Google Docs. You'll see that you can also create a new document or one from a template. The collection of templates can get you started with creating a letter, resume, or a financial sheet. I'm going to click Google Docs to open up a brand new Google document. Once we get comfortable adding content to our Google Drive or having content that is shared with us, it begins to become more important to be able to find those files in your Google Drive. There's a number of ways to find the content in Drive. We already demonstrated how you can use the Recents and the Starred menu, but learning to master the search bar at the top will allow us to locate information more effectively. For example, I want to find a document that I used to write about Thomas Paine. One way to find information is to use the search bar at the top. I can start typing Paine in the search bar, and you'll find that it's looking through users in Austin ISD as well as documents. This shows suggestions for 3 people at the top and a document, Thomas Paine, below that. I could click on the file, or I could just go ahead and hit the return key to show all documents that have Paine in the file name or in the body of the document. In this example, I'm searching for the word power wash. These 2 files use the word power wash, but I can also use the owner column to see who the owner of the file is or the person who created it. Beside that, you will see when that file was last modified and by whom. One of the newer features added to Google Drive is the search results filter. After you have searched a term, these options let you refine the search by what type of file it is, just like photos. There are no photos using the word power wash, but there are 2 presentations that I have access to. Selecting my account as the owner can further refine that search to just show the file that I own. Now, I can see that the things that have the word power wash, this is the one presentation, and it is owned by this user. Using the search options icon in the search bar can provide you some additional search refining features. Maybe I want to look at just starred information or files not owned by me, and I want files that were modified in the last 90 days. You can even choose the location anywhere to look not just within My Google Drive, but in any Google shared drive or location visible to anyone within Austin ISD. Searching with the search results filter and the search options can help you weed through thousands of files more efficiently to find the specific content that you need to use. For more information on Google Drive to manage your online files, find a wealth of support using the Google Drive Support Center. The Help Index has much more about search and recover tools and the other file management strategies for Google Drive on your computer or your Android phone your iPhone, or your iPad. If you exhaust this support center and you still need an answer or support, submit a ServiceNow request using the Austin ISD portal.